There we go.
Welcome to Screenwriters Beat!
We're back!
We are back for episode 25. Do you believe that? 25? That's like a big number.
That's a quarter of a century. We are a quarter of the way there.
I am so excited to see our wonderful panel back, and if you notice, we have a new face, and we'll get to that. But starting off, please welcome Eric Ingram.
Hello, screenwriting world, screenwriters, you beloved special people, you. I'm so glad to be here, glad to be back with my distinguished panel and Joann. Welcome her to the family. I write action and comedies, and right now I'm working on this writing thing that's a very powerful story. So that's what's happening right now.
We have to hear more about that. Welcome back, Eric. Also, Heidi Mastrogiovanni. Welcome, Heidi.
Thank you so much, Anne. Joann, welcome. And panel, I love you guys. And storytellers, I love you. I love you. I write comedy. I want to make people laugh.
And you do. And you do.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
Also, welcome Nicole Jones-Dion.
Hello.
Also getting a reaction out of people, right?
Very different. Yeah, so I am currently working on a ghost script for Sean Cunningham, better known as Mr. Friday the 13th, since tomorrow is Friday the 13th. I thought I'd do it.
Oh my
God.
That's 2 in a row, people. We had one back in February, too. So.
Yeah.
And I'm also putting the finishing touches on my little short film, Debris, so hopefully that'll be coming out soon. And I'm also working on the feature-length script for Debris. So that's what I got going.
Busy girl. Yeah. Lucky to have you here today. And as everyone's noticed, we have a new panelist, a guest panelist for the first time, Joann Hess, who is also from Screenwriting U, like all of us. She's a screenwriter and a voiceover artist. Welcome, Joann.
Thank you very much, Anne, Eric, Nicole, Heidi. It's an honor to be here among such an illustrious group of writers. I've admired all of you from afar, so thanks for letting me join the club for a little bit.
Welcome.
We're the honored ones. We're the honored ones.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed.
It's cool. It's cool to have another voice visit us for a while, and we're going to be doing this from time to time, where we'll have a guest panelist come in and shake things up a little bit.
That's cool. Well, I write action.
Have fun.
Oh,
yeah.
Go
ahead.
I write action, thriller, and comedy as well. Been doing a lot of action thriller stuff, some martial arts movie.
Cool.
Yeah, I happen to hold a second-degree black belt, so that was kind of
whoa.
So that was fun doing that, and
very good credibility, I see.
Yeah, right with it, you know. It probably has nothing to do with black belts, right?
Great. Wow.
Super. Well, welcome. We're going to find out a little bit more about Joann later instead of a game today. I know you're sad. No game. There'll be another one, and we'll have some good information about.
Nicole's like, no game. What?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, I'll get you on the next episode. But our topic today, I think, is kind of really cool because we've had some requests to find out more about the mechanics of screenwriting, which really isn't what we normally talk about because we're talking about how you break in. But so our twist on it is how mastering certain elements of screenwriting will help you break in or just make it easier once you do. So I want to kick off with Nicole Jones-Dion. Do you have like maybe one that you'd say, you got to master this?
Oh boy, I actually learned kind of a cool one last night, and this might be getting a little too deep into the weeds, though. I don't know, this might be a little too esoteric. But for those of you who are familiar with Chris Sote's mini-movie method, which is like one of my favorite structuring and outlining tools, but the basic idea is you take your script and you break it, instead of just the 3 acts, you break it into 8 mini-movies that are each approximately 15 pages long. And so going even deeper into that, your primary character journey is what the character wants versus what the character needs, right? Okay, so hopefully everybody's still with me. And so for the first half of the film, at the end of every mini-movie, your main character has to make a critical decision. And for the first half of the film, he makes that decision based on what he thinks he wants. In the second half of the film, he makes those decisions based on what he needs. And that's how he gets to his arc that finally gets him to the completion at the end of the film, so we have this satisfying journey. And I just thought that was really neat, that the first half is about what he wants, the second half is about what he needs. And every 15 minutes, he's forced to make a decision that he must choose one of those two things, and for the first half he makes the wrong choice, and the second half he makes the right choice. That ultimately gets him where he needs to be.
Excellent.
I think that was fun. I don't know.
I like that.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's really good.
Great.
That's good. I was reading something recently too about how whatever the goal, you know, they're always like, "What's your hero's goal?" The goal changes throughout the script, which sort of goes along with what you're saying. I recently plotted out 3 goals, and it changes as their situation changes. So cool. I like that one. Heidi, what's your big tip?
My first thing, the first thing I would master is marketability. And I would always, I mean, I want you to write what you love and what you're passionate about. I want you to learn how to frame it in a marketable way, and that includes mastering log lines, mastering your elevator pitch. I would strongly encourage everyone to, well, you know, Screenwriting U and the marketability aspect that we learn, and I would go for marketability. What's going to get, what log line and what story is going to get people wanting to read your script? I think that's the first step.
That's
Very
smart.
important.
Right, yep. We all agree. Joann, what's your mechanical tip for screenwriting?
Well, the one thing that's really worked for me lately that I've really been getting into is analyzing each scene on an individual basis, making sure each scene has something really powerful to say. If each scene doesn't have something powerful to say, then it's just really not necessary to be there at all. And you really have to look at it with a real critical eye, because we have those scenes that we just love to write, that are funny, that we love the characters' interactions, but it just does nothing to advance story. It really does nothing to move the whole film along. So looking at it with a critical eye is really key for me.
And when you do that, do you sometimes then say, well, do I have to cut it, or can I find something to make it?
I will try to make it work. But sometimes it just doesn't work, and you have to sit there and go, okay, yeah, exactly. But, you know, and don't throw them out, because you never know in a rewrite that something else fresh might come along, or in another script you say, oh, you know what, I like when those characters did that there, but it really works better in this script. So never toss anything aside. You
That's
never
a
know
good point. I mean,
life.
I keep a file of cut scenes. Do you guys do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I keep a big file of if I ever do an edit, I just keep one big file of everything. Like, I never get rid of it. So even though in draft number 4 it didn't work, in draft number 11 it might come back.
True.
Absolutely.
So,
I do that too. For every script I have a separate file. I call it the orphan file. And the scenes that don't make it from the film get tucked away in the orphan file, and sometimes they'll get reused for that script, or maybe they'll get recycled for something else down the road.
or part of it. You know, I've gone back and gotten a description or something out of it. You never know.
Right.
Good point. Eric, how about you? I know you've got we've had some requests from our very favorite Marla Hayes about some of the stuff from your mentor teacher you've shared along the way.
Right. Wow. Okay. Well, let me answer the question. Let me answer the question first, and then I'll answer Marla's thing. The biggest thing for me that I've learned recently from my own writing is called deep character. What that means is follow your character, get into the mindset of your character, and take that mindset through the entire story. Like, it may be just a pass, you might do this, you could create the story and all this stuff, but once you start realizing, like, what would Bourne, I know everyone knows Bourne, so let me just use Bourne. If you look at everything came out of Bourne's mindset, what he would do next, how he would do it, how fast he would do it, like all the other stuff about the snow and the train ride, all that moves out of the way, and you seriously get a character focus. I'm serious. That wasn't my strongest suit, was not character. So that I'm trying to work on getting better at driving the character through the story, through his mindset. So that was, for me, that was one of my light bulb moments. It was like, stick to that person, Because if someone's chasing you with a gun, you're not worried about what color the cars are in the stores and the flowery yellow red roses that you just passed. If someone chasing you with a gun, all I can think of is where is my exit? How can I get away?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that
I
kind
know.
of focus, laser focus. But for Marla, our favorite fan, Marla,
Marla!
what my teacher said was, if you want to improve your description, read more poetry, because you must learn how words and flowers and images and all that stuff connect and what you get, what the reader gets. So the more you read poetry, you'll get better at that. If you want to get better at dialogue, read more plays, especially like let's say a Virginia Woolf or something like that, like a strong character, and you can see how everything comes through that character's profile, traits, all that kind of stuff. There, every scene is unrelenting because a play is all about dialogue. I mean, that's really all it is. Not much to the sets, not unless it's a big musical or something like that. But and then I'm trying to think what was the other one. And character is another with plays also. Novels are beginning, middle, end. If you read more novels, if you want to work on your structure, so beginning, middle, end. That was cool. That's it in a nutshell.
Cool.
I love those. I really love those. Thanks for going over that again. Mine is probably not a mechanics of screenwriting, but it's writing fast. As you break in, you have to write fast and good. I mean, your first draft can't be like like when you're starting out or learning. It has to be a solid draft that you have to show to someone, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right.
So I would definitely find some time to practice writing fast, which means you allow yourself to write total crap. But that'll get better. You can teach yourself to write fast.
And I guess to also to kind of further Anne's point, one way to learn to write faster is to avoid doing the thing that a lot of newbie screenwriters do, which is overwrite. Because screenplays, if you read the really professional screenplays, are very lean documents. There's the description is very sparse. I mean, every word counts, though, to Eric's point. It's poetry. I mean, every word on that page fights to be there. It deserves to be there. But you look, they don't have, like, huge blocks of description. And you can usually tell a newbie screenwriter right off the bat because they'll explain every nuanced detail of what the main character's wearing. And none of that stuff matters unless it's relevant to the story somehow. But 9 times out of 10, it's not. Yeah. And also, look at your dialogue. It's like, I've seen another mistake a lot of newbie writers make is they overwrite the dialogue, and actors can do a lot with just a look or a glance. I mean, have a lot of confidence and faith in your actors too. They don't always need words to get the emotion across, and so sometimes, especially in screenplays, less is more. And once you learn that and you're writing leaner, that will help you write faster because there's less words on the page.
Yeah. True. Make sure there's a lot of white on your pages. Readers love that. Readers love lean, as to Nicole's point, readers love lean scripts. You know, they have a lot to read. Make yours the cliched phrase, make it a quick read. I hate using read as a noun. I hate that I just did that. Oh, well.
It's a noun in our business.
Right.
I know. Language evolves. That kills me. It evolves. I know.
Right. Just a quick, just to nail this in the coffin. Every action movie you guys you rent from Netflix or Redbox or whatever, before you start, especially action. Right now they're doing it on mostly action movies, maybe some action thrillers, maybe. But what you do is when you put it in your DVD or whatever, go to setup and pick English descriptive language. What they're going to do is, as the story's going on, they're going to read the directions from the script.
Wow.
Right. It's cool. Well, and they're reading what you can hear in the time that they're also talking. So it's even tighter than the script would have been. It's
even tighter. Not only is it tighter, you can see, like, I don't have to describe all that. No, you don't, if you pick the right words. Instead of 20 words, if you say it in 4. Like, wow, really? And so just watch it. That's how I watch a lot of, especially all my action movies, that's how I watch. If they say a phrase that I'm like, oh, wow, I'll write it down, and I may use it in my, hey, it's all Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So hey, that's what I.
Have you been following this blurred lines thing lately?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another
But
show.
we
I
know
don't
what
even
you
wanna-
mean.
It's another
We
show.
know what you mean.
That's
We know what
another
you
show.
mean.
Yeah, that's another show. That was wrong. I don't believe that, but it's wrong. But anyway.
Yeah. I'm not a musical expert, so we'll pass on that. Did anybody have anything else to answer or add to that?
Just please, everything that everyone said, please, guys, write it down and actually do it. You don't have to opposed to just watching the show and then going on. Actually focus on what Heidi said, on what Joe. Seriously, because there's nothing worse than like, you got these great information and then you never use it. Like,
Yeah.
come on,
Well, I hope eventually that I remember when I started, I felt like I had lists of stuff I had to go through. But after a while, it was all in here, and it started actually coming out, and I didn't have to remind myself.
Right,
So if you need to, still go to your list. If you don't, hopefully this will just trigger stuff you already know, and you go, oh yeah, I'll start doing that more.
It'll become a new normal eventually.
Good point.
It will. It will. You'll get there. Cool. Well, I really want to get in and learn how Joann broke into the business, because I think these stories, and we did it on our very first episode, but I think these stories are great for anyone that's out there and trying to break in. It's a great way to hear someone's story. It's going to be different for everybody, but the more stories you hear, it might give you ideas and give you encouragement to keep going. So Joann, tell us, how did you get your first screenwriting job?
Well, the first screenwriter job, I don't know, it's kind of a little boring, but I think I want to preface. Well, I want to preface it because I think the biggest key to my moving forward in this business was not so much getting the job, but a distinct change in my mindset that let me open to opportunity. Okay, I said to myself, last year, I said, nobody's knocking on my door. If I don't put myself out there and be courageous, nothing's going to happen. So just so happens that a fellow PSAer put an ad out for a co-writer. She needed somebody. She was writing historical. It ended up being historical action. And she needed an action writer, and she needed somebody with a background in finance and/or history. Well, it just happens I hold an MBA, and I'm an action writer, and I also have a huge penchant for history. So I sat there and I stared at that over and over again, and I said, I'm going to go for it. And I said, here's my credentials. This is what I've done. And she said, okay, send over a script so I can read what you've done. And boom, I got the contract within a week.
Wow.
So that was my first foray. It was great. I was working with a producer out. Actually, it's very international. The writer was in Canada, and the producer's in the UK. So it was very cool.
And you're in California.
And I'm in Ohio.
Oh,
so
you're in Ohio. Oh, sorry.
I'm actually in Ohio, yes. So
don't have to live in town. It's good to know.
No, exactly. I'm Midwest, right in the Midwest here. So what was fun with that, I was working on that, and several months later, she kind of put the word out. I guess the producer had contacted her. He wanted an action film with somebody with martial arts. And I said, Liz, I'm a second-degree black belt. I bet I could do it. She goes, well, contact the producer. I got an immediate answer. He says, it's yours. So, boom, I had another contract.
So, see, your best contacts are sometimes people you already know, right? The people you've just worked with.
Exactly. So that was really fun. And since I had the first job, again, on Facebook, okay, believe me or not, Facebook works, I had a producer here, actually in Cleveland area, who was looking for a writer for a thriller. So I connected with him. I happened to have been at a film festival at the time, which my comedy script won first place, best comedy.
Wow.
Yay! So I used that. Thank you. I used that for leverage, saying, okay, here's some experience I'm doing right now. Here's some credibility because I got this first place, and we chatted back and forth, and then I got that contract to write a thriller. And as a matter of fact, all these scripts, the martial arts thriller, man, talk about having to write your first draft right the first time. I mean, the the notes that came back were, "This is great, but can we do this?" Well, yeah, we can do that. Sure, whatever you want.
Good attitude.
And, 30 days, yeah, I had a rewrite, and second draft, boom, done. He's like, no, it's going to the director. So,
Ooh.
that was amazing for me. I'm expecting more notes, and, but that was really cool. And the thriller I did for the Cleveland producer, I got a text in the middle, and he says, "I'm reading title of film." He goes, "It's awesome." So he texted me in the middle. So I'm doing the dance, and so with all those under my belt, now I'm hoping we're hoping to get at least one, maybe two into production by the end of this year. So that's my next thing, knock on wood, is to get produced. All of this is to get produced, and then I'll be, at the next level. But fun thing is that with all this underway, the UK producer actually came back to me. He has written several books, and he said, "I have financing in place. Do you want to make this book into a feature?" And I said, "Yes, I do." So I just got that.
Can I get back to you?
And,
right.
Good job.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and all of this
hopefully,
came about at the end of last year, right?
It was the end of, I signed the second martial arts contract in October. Yeah, October, November, exactly. And both of them came around the same time, and they were completed. First drafts completed at the end of last year, second drafts the beginning of this year. So
that's cool.
It'd be nice. I'm just waiting for this new stuff and get ready to start the new project.
Aw, congratulations.
Very cool. Yay.
Yeah, Eric, you got a question?
Yeah, now I'm taking the side of a writer. So I'm a new writer, right? I just hear what you just said, and my question would be, okay, so how many scripts did you write before the first one?
Oh, let me see.
Before she sold the script?
Before what happened in October.
Good question.
I have three film scripts. I have 5 parts of a TV show I worked on with other people that went nowhere, and a web series that was optioned, and I wrote 4 episodes for that. That got all the way to Warner Brothers, but didn't get picked up. So that's all I've done before. Yeah.
Before that, okay. And then right before that, before you had the mindset change, right? What was the most frustrating part about having those scripts and not either getting them moved forward or getting to producers not, knocking on your door or saying yes? What was the most kind of frustrating part about that for you?
For me, it's, I don't really know how to pitch. Being a newbie, there's really nowhere that you can go and say, this is how you pitch to people, this is how you get your product out there to other, to potential producers, or I really only knew a couple other people through writing classes. I didn't know, and I still am scared to death of the cold calls. Still don't put me, I really don't feel comfortable enough to go into a room with and sit there at the chair and pitch. So, because nobody really taught you that. It's kind of everything I've picked up either through Screenwriting U or just on my own trying to learn it. So that's probably the most frustrating thing of all is knowing how to present yourself and your product. And I'm a marketing person, so I like the formula,
That's good. Well, we got it. I think that's kind of a topic for an upcoming show. Then we need to give some more pitching tips.
I would. That's probably the one thing that I would really like to know more about. Because I know you do it, and I really, I'm amazed that you go to these places and the queen of pitch,
And the queen, yes, the pitching queen.
I like that title. I don't know if it's true, but I agree. I think it's something that you have to practice, and But we'll get into that. I'll share whatever tips I can come up with how I do it. But, that's cool. Anybody else have a question for Joann? Joann, it's so cool. I love the insight you have, and especially since which pro series were you?
43.
43.
And currently Master Class 3.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
So I love that you're already breaking through. I mean, yeah, because 40, I don't know, are they in the 50s now? I was 21.
Yes, they are.
I'm like, I'm ancient.
I'm 19, so I'm older than you.
Oh, yay!
18.
Wait, 15?
18.
Wow.
18.
Wow.
What's
7.
7. Okay.
You win. Winner.
7, and then I came back and did it was 36B, which this is what he called it. This is how I called it, 36B. And halfway we stopped, right? And then what we were doing in 36B became MSC, Master Screenwriting.
Oh, that's cool.
So but yeah, 36B. I know we tease Hal about that all the time.
Beat.
You left us, you left us behind, man. But he made it up. He made it up with this Master Screenwriting system. He made it up big time. So I'm thrilled.
Cool. Oh, that's neat. That's neat. Well, gosh, guys, I know we could talk to Joann for a long time, but we will have her again in the second episode of this evening. So let's move on. We have one final Q&A question. It's, what do you think makes a good character description? You know, obviously something short and to the point. Let's go to Nicole.
Yeah, I mean, that's really it. It's brevity, impact, and honestly, writing character descriptions is an art form in and of itself, and it's something that I struggle with. And when I read a really great one, I'm like, oh, that's the most awesome description ever. But yeah, it's just one of those things because you want to basically sum up your entire character in a single sentence because that's the goal. You want to try to do it in one sentence, not a long paragraph, not what color their hair and eyes are. You don't need to say if they're a woman that they're hot because we kind of assume they're hot because all actresses are hot. You know,
as are all screenwriters, right? Yeah. Heidi, how about you?
Nicole's absolutely right. It has to be one sentence. It has to be lean as can be and unbelievably compelling. So there's an assignment. Vivid, really vivid. And I would say my biggest piece of advice is please avoid cliches like the plague. There's a cliche to avoid. No cliches, please. No cliches.
That's a good point. That's good. Eric?
A two-parter, of course. You know me. I'm full of advice today. I don't know why.
I like that.
My little thing is attitude plus occupation. That's my thing.
Oh, okay.
So the point of view that if there's sarcastic rocker, rocker doctor, like something. That's not a great one, but anyway, that's how I think. And then the other thing is, if you want to get good ones, read writer-director scripts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Gilroy, I love how he describes characters.
Peter Berg is.
Peter Berg.
He's not. The movies may be all right, but I'm telling you, when you read the script and he introduces people, like, oh my gosh, like I see who this dude is in 6 words, like I see it. So Peter Berg.
Well, and he's also an actor, so he's got his triple threat.
Right, exactly. But he's big budget director now, so he gets to write all that military spy, all that kind of stuff. He's kind of taking the helm of those movies now.
Very cool. Good advice. Joann, do you have any character description advice?
I usually try to go with something very, very unique to the character. You know,
sort of like why they're in your story, kind of.
Yeah, you know, like his face and body, or a roadmap. You know, scars from battles won and lost. You know, I mean, something very unique that Coley describes that character. You can just feel it, not just see it, but you can feel.
I like that. I sometimes I do like when I read a good character description, I'll write it down. I'll keep a list.
Yeah.
Of
Yes,
stuff.
I do.
Yeah, it's nice to read them, right? When
Yeah.
you're writing your own, it just at least inspires you. Oh yeah, I know now why they're so good.
Right.
Structurally, you can follow. Some other good ones you can structurally follow, and I think it helps. Cool, guys. Well, I expect everybody out there to be writing fabulous now. If you weren't already, gee, I'm assuming.
No excuses, that's right.
No excuses, yes. We're going to close now with one word of writing wisdom. If you had it to give, one word. And thank you so much, Joann, for being here. You're marvelous.
Thank you all for having me. Thank you so much. It's been so much fun, really.
Great.
Oh, so great to be in the club.
Eric, one word of wisdom. Writing wisdom.
Think out of the box.
Think out of the box.
How many words?
4 words.
Yeah.
I know, but it is out of the box is kind of one with the hyphens and the bits.
Oh, that's true.
Talking
The think part is really 2 words. I'm not sure what spell check would do, but Heidi.
I know, right?
This is directly from Screenwriting You and Hal and Cheryl Crozman. Elevate.
Elevate. That's a good one. That comes up a lot all over Hollywood.
Yeah.
Joann, do you have one word for us?
I think, in retrospect, with what I just said before, fearless.
Fearless.
Be fearless. Get yourself out there. Do it. You can do it.
Nicole.
Boy.
Mine would be. Oh, we have Margie just in time for her word.
I got the time wrong. Have you got daylight saving?
Oh, we do.
Oh, yes.
That's okay. We'll let you, we're going to do a second one in just a second, so hang in there. We're doing our one word of wisdom, writing wisdom, one word advice, and Nicole's got one for us.
My word is persevere. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Never give up. Never surrender.
Yeah, I love that. Galaxy Quest. Margaret, do you have one word of wisdom?
Right.
Right. Hey, that's like mine. Mine is progress. You have to complete scripts, so have progress, right? Thank you guys. Another incredible show full of wonderful details. Eric, thank you for being here. Heidi, Joann, Margie, better late than never.
I've missed the whole thing, have I? Oh well.
We'll be right back for another episode for those of you that are seeing us live. Otherwise, we're on YouTube. Please like us below and visit us again. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.